Hi everyone, today I want to teach you how to create virtual environment using Anaconda and venv, which is a native Python package if you have a Python above 3.3, and also using environment or virtualenv. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. They teach you how to do it using venv or virtualenv, but I've never seen a YouTube video that teaches or compare and contrast all these three. I've seen a YouTube video the person says that I don't like Anaconda or I don't like using virtual environment using conda. And I think this is a big miss. I think Anaconda is the best way to create a virtual environment. And this is usually the best practice actually going on using Anaconda distribution, because inside that you can install packages using conda and using pip. For many packages and libraries, Anaconda or conda install is definitely better than pip install because it installs the dependencies all at the same time with each other. All right. So today I want to teach you how to do them and then compare and contrast. And I will tell you what I think is the best to use for a virtual environment. All right. So let's start. First, I want to teach you how to do it using venv, which is coming with your Python distribution. So you don't really need to install anything. That's one of the advantage of venv. All right, let's do that. So for that, we go to a start and then we open command prompt. All right, let me drag it here. This is the command prompt. All right, so I'm gonna navigate to the folder that I have my Python file. I just create a simple Python file. I will show you actually in a minute. So let me navigate there. Downloads, your location can be different. Just navigate to wherever you have your Python file. CD, let's see, coding practice. You don't have to remember the path. You can just type dir, and then this is where I want to have this cd. All right, let's erase the screen. And okay, so now we are here. Let me just show you what I have inside. We have dir, we have first.py. All right, if you want to look at my Python file, which is a very simple file, you type code. This opens VS Code. Code space dot. There you go. This opens it exactly in that folder. And this is a simple Python file that I have. I import NumPy as NP, pandas as PD, and I'm looking at the my Python path, sys.path. All right, so print it. Look at this, something I want to show you very important. Look at the VS Code. Look at what I see in the bottom of the screen. It says select interpreter, right? We haven't chosen an interpreter. We haven't chosen any virtual environment that we are using, okay? So I'm gonna close this and then go back to the command prompt. All right, so we are here. So using venv, what I'm going to do, type Python -m venv. This is the first keyword. This is the venv. This shows that actually we are using the venv package, right? Or venv to install a virtual environment or to use a virtual environment. All right. The next one is the name of your virtual environment. Anything you like. As a matter of fact, or is the name of folder for virtual environment. Because virtual environment is just a folder, right? It's just a directory. I'm gonna call it venv1. All right. So bear with me here. I click enter. It's trying to create that folder for me. And then I'm gonna show you how it looks like. All right. Very good. Let's type dir. Look at what's gonna happen. Look at this. Now I have a folder venv. All right. Let's do something interesting now. Let's do something interesting. The next thing for us is to how to activate that. You don't need to memorize anything. You don't need to memorize anything. You don't need to memorize a command. Let's go ahead and type cd venv1. Remember, that was the directory. That was the name of virtual environment. All right, let's type dir. There you go. This is what I have inside. Lib for the libraries, and this is the configuration file. And let's go ahead and activate it. How would you activate that? This is the command, dot, the current directory, script. But this is how you activate in Windows. In Mac, you can type source. But this is the Windows that I have. Mac, you go to terminal instead of command prompt. Right? Activate. All right. There you go. See what we are seeing here. Let me see if I can show you better. All right. Do you see this one here? venv. This is the name of our virtual environment, and that's how you see you have your virtual environment. This is how you should look at that. The name of this, remember here, I don't have venv. So here I wasn't inside the virtual environment. Now I'm inside the virtual environment. This means that you are doing stuff correctly. All right, great. Let's close this annotation. And all right, now that we are inside this virtual environment, what we're going to do is install a couple of packages. Pip install pandas and pip install numpy. So pip install, by the way, you can install them all in one line. Numpy without any comma. All right. I think I have a good version of the Pip version perhaps can be very old for me, but I guess this will do the trick for this tutorial. Because I always use Anaconda. I will tell you, I never use venv or virtualenv. After learning Anaconda, you don't need to touch even this, right? So let's just give it a time. Successfully install numpy, pandas. You see the version of pip is, ooh, very old, right? I haven't updated that. If you would like to update and listen to this error message, you can just go ahead and copy this one if you are interested. And then, all right, it doesn't install the latest version, I guess, because my Python is very old, right? It's 3.6. And so it installed the 21.3. The latest version is 23. All right, but this will do the trick for this tutorial, right? Okay, great. So now I have it installed. Great. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to open a virtual VS Code. What was the command? Code dot. Let's take a look at what I have. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this for now. I'm going to go one folder back because I'm going to open VS Code here. And for now, let me see if I can get rid of this stuff that I annotate here too. All right. All right, let's close it. Sounds good. And I'm going to open VS Code here. Code. Right. Let's take a look at what we have here. Cool. All right. Great. So first.py. Now do you see this one? This is a virtual environment. Let's take a look at what we have inside the script. Oh, so these are the things that I have inside the script. Look at this, peep. Look at I have the Python, and this is the activate part that you actually type scripts that activate. So this is what we have here. Look at what we have inside the lib, the side packages. Side packages is what we have, numpy, and then we have pandas. And again, peep, these are the side packages that you're going to install. Great. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at this. VS Code immediately realizes that we are inside VN1. And look at this one. Now, bottom of the screen. Let me annotate it for you. Let me show it to you what I mean. I'm gonna choose different color, red, and then look at this. Take a look at what I'm gonna show you here. See, VS Code knows that it's VN1. It's a virtual environment by VN, and then the name of that is VN1. Do you see this one? So now we are inside the virtual environment. So, and it activates it for us. And now because inside the VS Code also we can run a terminal. And that's exactly what we are doing here. All right. So now I'm going to run this code. Normally, this shouldn't work because the NumPy and pandas are not installed. But I think this should work here now, right? Because I have actually successfully installed pandas and NumPy. So you can either go ahead and run it from terminal, or you can actually run it here. Run Python py. I'm going to run this Python py. There you go. And this is the path that I have for a sys.path. So successfully installed that. So successfully run that. So this is a list of the Python path that I have. So the first path, if you're interested in this, the first path usually is the location of the directory that we are in, right? We are inside this directory. This is where Python actually searches for the libraries and for the files, all right? This is great. Okay, so this works great. Now, let me close this. This was easy. So now you may ask a question that this sounds very easy and this will do the trick. So what's the problem with this? All right, you're right. What's the only advantage that I found for venv is that it's coming with your Python. You don't need to install any third-party library using pip install or any method you have, which is a very big advantage. Maybe you're in some environment that you cannot really install any um, package globally. So that could be very important. However, this one, remember when I was installing that, let me just show you the command. The command was what? Remember, it was Python dash m. It's using your Python. That's what it is using. What if I want to use Python 3.8? I'm stuck. This is using Python 3.6 because that's what is installed in my um, computer. This is a big, big disadvantage. What if you have a package that doesn't work with Python 3.6? What should I do? Should I go ahead and install Python 3.8 now? What if I have a package that is not compatible with Python 3.8? Should I go ahead and install Python 3.3? This is a big, big disadvantage. Use this one if you would like as a simple package, is a simple way to install a virtual environment or use a virtual environment. But just remember that it's not a preferred method and it's not really professional in my point of view, right? Okay, so that's this. Now, your question may be, how can I erase this, right? So remember, virtual environment is just a folder. So if you type dir, you see this virtual environment. How can I erase this virtual environment? It's very easy. That might be one of the advantage of this VM as well. It's very easy to erase and to create a virtual environment. That's one. The second thing is that also another thing I want to mention to you is that, let me just code dot again. Um, let me show you something in VS Code. Another thing that I think is an advantage. You may not agree with me. So let me just, all right. So let me erase this annotation. That's you see here inside this virtual environment, we have this folder, and this folder is present with my Python file here. So that's one of the advantages. You can actually see you're inside the virtual environment, and you have this virtual environment folder installed here. And when you are pushing this one to GitHub, you can just add this one as a in a part of your Git ignore, and then you're gonna be good to go actually. So that actually would be a very nice feature that is exists in the same folder as your py file. Once we go to Anaconda, you see that this is not the case over there. All right, just something I want you to be aware of that. All right, so that's it for the VM. My recommendation is not to use this one unless you want to go for something very simple and you don't want to install third-party library. All right, very good. Let's close it. Actually, one more thing is left. How to remove this? How do I remove this one? Removing is as easy as removing a folder. It's just a folder. dir is this one. I want to remove it. All right, in Mac, if you want to remove, you type rm dash rf, recursive and force, right? You can type sudo as well. And then venv one. We are not inside the Mac. In Windows, the command to remove that is rm dir directory /s, the name of this. S is for subfolder. So, right? Let's take a look at the, oh. No, and I want to show you how to do it correctly. First, you have to deactivate that. First, you have to deactivate, right? Deactivate. How do you know it's deactivated? You see that inside the first, you see this parenthesis bn1 doesn't exist here anymore. So this means that you're not inside the virtual environment anymore. All right. So now you're gonna type this command. There you go. Why? There you go. Now, one thing we want to see is the type dir. You're gonna be interested to see we don't have it anymore. It's removed, right? It's just removed. Now, if I go ahead and type code, open VS Code, these are the things that I want you to go over that if you want to understand exactly what's going on. If you type inside VS Code, there is no, there you go, select interpreter. Virtual environment is gone, right? There is no virtual environment. All right, so we are done with VN1. All right, let's close this one. And now let's go over virtualenv, right? And to be honest, I think venv is better than virtualenv because it's coming with Python. So I don't recommend you to use virtualenv as well. But I want to show you how to do that if you are interested or if you're wondering how to create one. All right. So the process for that is very similar to venv. That's why I don't recommend that. It's just an external library. If you don't have it installed, I already have it installed. But if you don't have it installed, you're gonna go ahead and type pip install virtualenv. I have it installed. I'm pretty sure I have it installed. Requirement already satisfied. Great. Now, after that, I honestly don't know any reason why you should use virtualenv if you have venv. But people ask me, request me to create a video and explain that to them. All right. So we create Python -m. Now, instead of venv, we use virtualenv. Virtualenv. And the name of that, I call it virtualenv1. All right. Slower. Why? Because installing some stuff for you. Installing pip and will is slower. That's the first thing to remember. It's slower than venv. All right. Let's give it the time to install that. There you go. It installed it for us. So now, one thing that I want to show you is that if I type var Python, where is the location of my Python? Guys, this is the Python that is globally installed. These are Pythons that are globally installed on my computer. You can also see that we are not inside the virtual environment using this. Now, I want to activate my virtual environment for virtualenv. We show you how to do it for venv. Guess what? This is very similar to venv. Type dir. Do you see this one? This is the name of the folder we have. Type cd. Right? Type dir. You see, this is very similar to what we had over there in the venv. This folder is different than but it's overall is very similar. So the activation also very easy. Scripts. There you go. As easy as that. This is exactly the same as what we did in venv. Let's install this stuff using pip install, numpy, and pandas. All right. Then after that, we switch to VS Code and show you all the stuff that you have done with venv, we can do with virtualenv. It's slower in general than venv. But it seems that everything is going correctly and smoothly. There you go. Install everything we want. Perfect. So now what's the next step? Let's open VS Code. Code. It's a nice idea, this VS Code. I really like it. I think I opened it in the wrong folder. Let's just go close this and let's go back one folder, cd, and then type code. Code here. There you go. All right. So let's take a look at, give a time to VS Code to see if it realizes our virtual environment. There you go. It did realize that. Let me go and annotate it for you to show you what I'm talking about here. You see here, just take this annoying message. What is it talking about? Let's go here and look at this one. So here, it seems that it crashes. Should be able to find the virtual environment for us. There you go. I don't know for whatever reason why it crashes. Crashed 5 times, but it should show it here. There you go. Virtual env. So it showed it for us. All right. So now I'm gonna go and run it for you. It works like a charm, right? Works exactly like a charm. The same output. What's the first one? The file that you're located, the folder that you're in. Right? As easy as that. So we have this one. Let me erase this annotation. This is how easy you can actually use the virtual environment here. And let me close this. Let me close the VS Code. All right. So we are done. Now we want to erase this. Again, erasing this also is similar to VN. Everything is similar to VN. So the question is, why would you want to use this if VN is coming with the Python and this one requires installation? Why would you want to use virtualenv? That's the question to be asked. All right. So now the idea is to do dir and remove this folder. We are inside Windows. We do rm dir -s for the subfolders, everything that's inside this. And all right, y means yes. Done. Dir is gone. That's it. All right. Isn't this beautiful? All right, great. So we install this. We are done with venv and virtualenv. Now I want to go to the preferred method. So to recap, venv up to now between venv and virtualenv, venv is the preferred because it's coming with the Python. You don't have to install anything. But in my opinion, none of them are good. Now I want to go to the best technique, which is using Anaconda. All right, Anaconda is a third party. Yes, you need to have Anaconda installed. If you don't want Anaconda, you can install Miniconda. Right, so you have to go and install Anaconda. That might create some issue if you're not allowed to install anything on your computer. Sometimes you might not have administrative access, but in general, if you have a permission to install it, Anaconda is the best technique. Now, so to do that with Anaconda, I will tell you the advantage of Anaconda as well. We're going to close this command prompt. Although you can do the command prompt, but the best way is that to close this one. We're going to go to a start and type Anaconda prompt. We're going to open Anaconda prompt. So let me bring it here. There you go. This is my Anaconda prompt, guys. Right? You see the base. By default, you're here. Now, I have a video in my YouTube, which I will put a link here, that I go in detail about installing virtual environment in Anaconda and installing jupyterlab and connecting or creating a kernel in Anaconda and connecting your kernel to your jupyterlab. Definitely recommend go and watch that. That's the technique that you need if you start your career as a data scientist or machine learning scientist or engineer. I've used it numerous times in my career, and you're gonna be surprised how many people don't know this stuff. All right, great. So this is the base. We are initially in the base environment. So Anaconda, let me teach you a couple of interesting commands in Anaconda. You want to see a list of your virtual environment. Look at this command. Conda env means environment list. Conda env list. This gives you a list of all the virtual environment. Look at how many I have. Because I always use Anaconda. These are all the environments that I have with different version of Python. Anything you want to use. All right. This is a conv in list. All right. So I don't want to go to any of this virtual environment. I want to create a virtual environment from scratch. Right. So the command to do that is conda create -n. N means name. The alias for that. Name. Right. What's the name of that? Conda1. Look at this masterpiece. You can say which version of Python you want to install. You couldn't say it in venv. You could point it to the version or virtual environment. You could say that point to the version of Python you have installed in your hard drive. But look at this one. You can install any version of Python you would like. You type Python 3.9. I will do the trick for you. Look at let's look at this. It's a little slower, maybe, because it's gonna install the entire thing, the Python, the pip, everything for you. But there you go. Done. Now it asks you to update the version of conda. We don't care about that. Look at this. Install pip. Look at the version of Python. Just please look at this. 3.9. You're gonna go and install a package, whatever library. You look at in the GitHub, it says that you need to have a version Python 3.10, Python 3.8, right? Whatever Python. Maybe later on Python 4 point something, whatever. You, with Anaconda, you have no problem. With venv and virtualenv, you're going to have a serious issue. So type Y, and it will install everything for you. Like, believe me, once you get comfortable with Anaconda, there is no going back to this venv or even pepenv. If you are interested, I can create a video for you to teach you how to do it with the pepenv or maybe other package that exists. There is PNV and there is PyEnv. There are different packages for virtual environment. None of them are as good as this Anaconda. All right. It install a Python for us. And now it says, see, it says type conda active. It says activation also is different. Remember over there was a script activate. Here is different. So let me see if I can type var Python here. This is the version of Python that I have here, the globally, right? This is the version of Python I have globally. There is one bar of Python that is coming with Anaconda. This is the one that is in base environment. Okay. Once we go to virtual environment, I'm going to type this command again. But before that, I want to show you again that important command that I showed you in the beginning. List the virtual environments that I have on my computer. Conda and list. Look at this. Remember the conda one. Where is the conda one that I created? Where is the conda one that I just created? I just created the virtual environment type conda one. Where is that? There you go, conda one. Okay, should be here. Conda one. There you go. All right, good. Let's activate this. Conda activate conda one. All right. Now conda virtual environment is activated. Look at this one. Now my virtual environment is activated. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install a couple of packages here. You can install using pip. You can install using Anaconda, using conda. Conda install or pip install. I want to do the same thing. Pip install. Pip install pandas numpy. It will do it like easy for us, easy installation. Seems everything is going smoothly here. Gonna install, I guess, the latest version for us. If it says anything command or anything about the pip, you can always upgrade that. But I don't think it's gonna give you any warning message about the pip because it installed the latest version, or at least 3.9. Yeah, so okay, this is not actually an error here. It's because successfully installed everything. So it's actually talking about the NumPy version with that they are actually incompatible. I can create a video explaining to you how to actually fix this error. This is not actually error that's gonna create any problem for us. But you see that it didn't give us any error about the version of the pip that is using venv, right? Venv is using the Python that is installed on my computer. Anyway, so we have this installed. We are all good here. All right, so I'm not sure if we can type this here or not. I want to, there are a couple of things we can do. We can either CD to downloads, CD coding practice, dir. Before doing that, let me type var Python and let me show you what's the. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Env environment conda one. This is using the panda that is here. How nice is this? Then I can see this installed exactly inside the virtual environment. All right, great. Now let me see if I can type code here. Open virtual. Yeah, VS Code. All right. So I open VS Code here, guys. And look at this. There is no folder here. There is no. Let me see if I can annotate and show you something interesting here. Yes. Let me show. You see this area? There is no venv directory. There is a directory at Anaconda as well. It's just installed somewhere else, right? And you saw the location. It's in the inside the virtual environment. venv is installed somewhere else. It's in the Anaconda. We go back to the command prompt or Anaconda prompt, and I will show you. But I want to show you something very interesting here. Let me erase this one. So look at this down there. The version of Python is 3.9 because I installed 3.9. How nice is this? The virtual environment is conda 1 and it already detects my virtual environment. Let me go ahead and run this one for you. There you go. How nice is that? We have everything. Okay? We have everything that we want. Done. Much, much better than venv. Much more professional. Any version of Python you like, you can install them. Let me leave this one. And let me go back to Anaconda prompt. The everything is gonna be inside this. You see this Python, this path. Everything you're gonna see is gonna be inside this folder, Anaconda 3. So environment envs, everything about the virtual environment is gonna be inside this envs. All right. So now, how can I remove this virtual environment? It's all great, but how can I remove it? All right. To remove that, you type conda deactivate. Always deactivate your virtual environment. All right. You go to base. This is a sign that you deactivate. You go to base. You start with the base. You go to base. All right. Then you type conda remove dash n. N is name, guys. You can type n name as well. Conda one, the name of your virtual environment, dash dash all. Everything that is installed, please remove it for us. Conda remove and conda one. That was a remember, it was the name of virtual environment. Dash dash all. All right. It's asking you that remove all the packages in this virtual environment. You can see also you don't want to remove any other virtual environment. All right. So type Y, give it a time. It's gonna be, in my opinion, quick here. So it's a little bit more work. It's not as easy as removing just a directory, right? Here, you should do a little bit of more work, but at the end, what you gain is a lot of flexibility that you can pretty much install anything you like. You can get rid of any dependency error or any dependency issue. There you go, done. All right, so why don't we go ahead and type conda and list? All right, I type conda and list. Do you see conda 1? It's supposed to be here, right? There is no conda 1, right? Because we deleted. There you go. Now, that's it for this video. Before I say see you in the next video, I would like to ask you one question. Based on what I showed you, what is your preference for creating virtual environment? I always ask this from people that I talk to. After I explain to them about Anaconda, they always actually start using Anaconda from that point on. But I want to see your point of view about different ways to create a virtual environment. Of course, there are more ways, ppen, when there are other stuff. If you are interested, I can create a video about that as well. But to me, my personal recommendation at the end of a video, I would like to give, this is my take, is to use Anaconda. It's much more professional, much more flexible, and you get the flexibility or ease of use that you won't get from any other way to create a virtual environment. I think this is a preferred way to do that as well. But comment below this video to see what is your preferred way of doing that. Like always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I will also include a link to the YouTube video that I explain how to create a virtual environment in Anaconda, how to create a kernel, how to create a jupyterlab, and connect them all together. It's a skill set that you need as a data scientist and machine learning person. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Bye.